Jersey City Freeholder Bill O'Dea began shouting at Hudson County Undersheriff Andrew Conti at last night's meeting of the Hudson County Board of Chosen Freeholders when getting into a discussion about the deployment of sheriff's officers during and after a protest.
Terrell McDonald and other Hudson County social workers hosted a protest asking for salary increases that made its way in front of the county building at 567 Pavonia Ave at 4:30 p.m. yesterday before addressing the Freeholder Board around 6:30 p.m. McDonald and her colleagues were frustrated when they were told this was an issue they'd have to take up with their union reps.
So even though it's my salary that's being affected by this, I have no say in it?
Your say is your union.
But the thing is, the union has their own agenda.
Change the leadership of the union.
At the December 10th meeting of the Hudson County Board of Chosen Freeholders, McDonald compared the Department of Family Services salaries in Essex, Bergen, and Union counties to those in Hudson County.
Hudson County was the lowest paid county out of all the surrounding counties, averaging $39,511 annually, whereas Bergen receives approximately $42, once again this is averages, $562, and Essex County receives $62,704, and Union County receives $46,100. So as you guys can see, tax is going up, rent is going up, we're putting out this work, but we're not seeing it in our salary. To summarize what I just said, we are constantly being told that the reasons why we are the lowest paid county compared to the surrounding counties we've just researched are due to the cost of living. Bergen County, they're starting their HSS fees off with $60,874, according to the Civil Service Commission. But the Hudson County HSS for bilinguals, a title up as well as a special skill is only getting $55,977.
Back to last night's meeting, things began to head south when Dolores Black, a former Hudson County social worker, told the board that security called the sheriff's office and had a handful of officers surround her when she returned to her former place of employment for social services. After the board discussed if a policy could be enacted to prevent a similar incident in the future, O'Dea questioned why the sheriff's office deployed so many officers for a protest.
3 officers in front of the building, four or five officers up here. It made no sense. And in fact, one of the people, what was interesting is one of the officers said, "Oh man, it's jammed up, it's jam-packed up in that room." I literally expected like people out in the rafters.
Another Jersey City freeholder, Gerard Balmier, asked for a copy of the memo issued by Hudson County Sheriff Frank Shalari to deploy officers for the protest. North Bergen freeholder Anthony Vaneri, who was sworn in by Shalari as vice chair on Tuesday, didn't understand what all the fuss was about, causing O'Dea, and to a lesser extent Balmier, to get heated.
I don't understand why we're knocking the sheriff's office doing their job.
Right.
They received information that this meeting is going to be chaotic and jammed. They did what they did to take precautions.
And when they found out it wasn't, they should have left.
We're not done yet. I'm getting to that point.
Okay.
At 6:20, Andrew Conti came up back to me and said, "I see nothing wrong with this meeting, do you?" I said, "No." He goes, "I'm going to let my officers go." I said, "Fine." And he let him go at 6:20. What are we picking on these guys?
It was an hour and 20 minutes late.
With all due respect, Freeholder, I take offense to you characterizing this as picking on the sheriff's office.
You are.
No, we're not. I simply asked.
Picking on the sheriff, not the
I simply asked for a copy of a flyer so I could understand why a decision was made. I support what the sheriff officers do to secure our safety. If something happens in here, they're the first line of defense. So at the end of the day, we have constituents that are here providing a version of what's happening. And it's my constituents are here telling me something that they're dealing with. And I'm up here asking for the facts.
Conti did his best to try and explain the situation, but things didn't go as smoothly as he would have hoped as O'Dea wasn't having any of it.
Now, if any of you know anything about protests or demonstrations, sometimes you have a small group one place, so you let your guard down, and then another place, a large group shows up. You're making a smirk, Freeholder. I'm trying to
Because it's ridiculous.
Okay, that's in your opinion. Again, that's your opinion.
It's in my learned opinion. Thank God they don't put flyers out every week. We're going to march from all over the county to the building. We'd have 100 sheriff officers here. Here's the reality. Leaving at 4:30, because you already anticipated the flyer. You already anticipated the mistake you made. Leaving at 4:30 p.m. in front of the sheriff's building we will be walking with signs, bullhorns, and media presence. So obviously, Freeholder Veneri, at 4:30, they left in front of the sheriff's officer. The sheriff's officer saw how many people were there. Now, the undersheriff's going to lead you to believe that we somehow felt there was an army on Baldwin Academy and an army on Bergen and Sip, and they were all going to converge. Come on. Let's be realistic.
What is the real point?
They knew at 4:30 p.m. there were 15 to 20 people. I don't know if there was a single bullhorn. I don't believe there was a single TV station or camera there.
Yes,
Yet they decided to wait until 6:20 to send the officers home. I don't fault these sheriff officers. God bless them. They put their life on the line every day, and I respect them, and I respect their job they do. My fault is with the individual that didn't know how to pull the plug at 5 p.m. and waited to 6:20 p.m. That's my only criticism. Not to any of these individual officers.
The meeting starts at 6 p.m. Freeholder. It was 20 minutes after 6 when we started to pull them.
I'm John Hudson with the Hudson County View, the eye of the community.